Rev up your engines! Today I'm going to talk about the worst gas stations in the United States and how you can avoid them. Cars burn gasoline. You're always going to the gas station to fill them back up. You want to have a good experience. You don't want to get crappy gas. You want your car to run right. So what should you do? Well, I know a little bit about gas stations. That's where I started. My father ran a corner Texaco station, and I started working there when I was 14. To begin with, realize that most gas stations, they have a very similar gasoline that they're selling. The raw gasoline is created at a petroleum refinery factory. Then they go to like these 3 million gallon places. Each individual manufacturer then takes out what they want and puts in their own additive package. So realize the base gasoline at most stations is exactly the same as all the other ones around you. The only difference is the additive package that they stick in. And unfortunately for the consumer, none of them ever tell you exactly what these additive packages are. My father, he ran a gas station, but he was more of an intellectual. He liked playing contract bridge. But I asked him once, I said, "Hey, you know what's in this gasoline you're selling?" He says, "Hey, I have no idea what's in it. I'm just a middleman." He wasn't even interested in what was in it. I've tried to find out exactly what these additives are. Nobody will tell you. Now, years ago, that decent fuel injection cleaner, Chevron Tech Run, used to tell you how much additive PEA, that's the main cleaner, was in the can. Years ago, they even stopped telling you that. And I asked a guy once, "How come you guys don't show that anymore, what the percentage of cleaner is?" And the executive at Chevron just said, "Oh, Scotty, you know, we don't want to get in an additive war where all the companies say, well, we contain 3%. I know we contain 4%. So they don't even tell you how much is in it. So you really have no idea. The only thing you can really be sure of is that almost all the gasolines in the United States contain 10% ethanol as an octane booster. Now, there are some out there that don't contain any ethanol that cost a lot more, and some guys with old cars swear by it. But for the average driver out there, you're going to get 10% ethanol inside your gas. Now, when I was a young mechanic, they added lead, tetraethyl lead, to the gasoline to raise the octane. But of course, that kills people over time. You're breathing that stuff in as it burns out. So then they went to MTBE, another additive, but turns out that causes cancer, and a lot of it was leaching out of tanks. They had a big suit in California. So then they switched to ethanol, to use ethanol as a booster, and to make all those farmers in the Midwest happy that now they could do something with all that corn that they grow besides stick it and store it in silos. Plus, then it didn't matter to the farmers how crappy the corn tasted because no one was eating it. They were just turning it into ethanol to blend with the gasoline. Now, the problem with ethanol is if you have too much, it can make a normal car start to run poor and corrode stuff. Now, there are inspections for this, but each state in the United States has individual rules for that. This is an ethanol testing kit. You can get one of these things for like $6, $7 on Amazon. You could actually test how much ethanol is in the gas that you buy. The states are supposed to do that, but some are real stringent, some aren't. So if you're curious, the next time you fill your car up, you might take a little sample, do this test, see how much ethanol is in it, and if it's more than 10%, then you're being cheated. Not only can too much ethanol damage your car, you get worse gas mileage. Ethanol contains about 20% less energy than gasoline. So let's say you ran on 100% ethanol, there are some cars that are set up that way, you would get 20% worse gas mileage in that same vehicle than if you used 100% gasoline. How do you choose which gas station to go? Now that I tell you that, really, the base gasoline is pretty much the same in all of them. Now, I mean, they do have that thing that's listed top tier stations. That's kind of a game that they're playing between the manufacturers and the manufacturers of gasoline. They've always been fighting back and forth where the car makers say, you can make gasoline really well, so our cars will run great. And then the gasoline manufacturers say, hey, you can make cars that can run on any kind of gasoline that we make. They're always battling back and forth. So they came up with this top tier idea that, oh, here's ones that have better additives and la la la, but they never tell you how much additives are in and what type are in at all. So here again, you get stonewalled on, you know, who has the, in quote, best gas, take places that are off-brand. Generally, they buy theirs what's called the spot market of gasoline. So a place like Kroger, that day, whoever's got the best price, that's who they're going to buy it from. So from day to day, month to month, week to week, you might be getting different gas at the same pump. It's all the same base gasoline in these 3 million gallon setups. Each person, each company puts their own additive package in. So it's not like you're going to get garbage, at least here in the United States. One of your main reasons to pick a gas station to go to is honesty. CBS did a report here in Texas and found out that there were certain stations that were doing what's called pump jumping. This is where the stations keep a little bit of money on the pump before you start pumping. So you're paying for gas that you're not getting pumped into your tank. One Texaco station in Austin got caught doing this 17 times. And here in Houston, there have been stations that have been shown to have people putting those credit card readers in the machines out at the island. So when they put your card in and out, they're reading your card and stealing your credit card information. If you found that your corner station has been reported for having these credit card thefts or pump jumping or any other type of scam, stay away from that station. Now, when I was a young mechanic, we had full service. Even if I was working on a car, I had to get out, wash the customer's windshield, check his oil while I'm pumping the gas. Most of that full service is long gone unless you live in a state like New Jersey or something where they don't let people pump their own. They say it's for safety reasons. It's something I find amazing because the rest of the country, nobody seems to have problems pumping their own gas and not blowing things up. But I guess in Jersey, hey, maybe they burnt down places by starting fires. Who knows? But in Jersey, they say you're not allowed to pump your own gas. Knowing the history of New Jersey, I would put that you can't pump your own gas in New Jersey more down to the overall corruption of the state. The gas stations probably got some kind of a lobby where they wanted to continue to pump it. They could charge higher prices. Who knows? Around here, they're all self-serve. So, if you go in, it's called a convenience station for a reason. You put your card in or you got your phone and you just beep, then you pump your gas. And when you're done, it's supposed to give you a receipt. Well, if that receipt doesn't work and it says, oh, come inside to see cashier, that kind of negated the idea of the convenience station in the first place. So if you go to one of those stations and all the time the printer doesn't work and you got to go inside, heck, go somewhere else. My father would be rolling over in his grave. Take care of the customers, not just sit there and not even have a machine that works right. The next thing to check on a station you don't want to go to is check the prices all the time, just out of curiosity, because when I was a young mechanic, they were mechanical machines. And when the price of gas changed, we had to take the machine apart, we had to get out our Allen wrenches, and we had to reset the price per gallon manually on each pump. But today, of course, it's all done electronically. And there have been cases, depending on the hour, whether it's raining or not, they would change the price that they were selling gasoline at. Check the prices, maybe get your phone out, take pictures during the day at a station near you, and see if the prices change. Just like that Uber stuff where they have, oh, well, now the rates are higher because it's raining outside. Check that out, and if you see there's a station that does that, stay away from them. And here's something that I have seen in the past. You might be paying for a gallon of gasoline, but let's say you're only getting 90% of a gallon when it's being pumped out because it's not metering it right. Where the cylinders were supposed to be filled of 10 gallons of gasoline, but they were only like 9 1/4. So people cheat on that. They always did in the past. I knew that once when I was a kid. I went to one of these discount stations. This was a long time ago. Gas was selling at 29 cents a gallon. So I brought out a measuring thing and I put exactly 1 gallon in, and it was only about 85% full. They were really cheating. That's probably why it was the cheapest place in town. It was 29 cents a gallon, but they were cheating you on it. So if you ever find a station that was flagged for cheating like that, stay away from it. And if you're curious yourself, hey, get yourself a gallon gradation. Maybe for your lawnmower, you use it later. Put exactly 1.000 gallons in it and see if it's full or not. And if it isn't, you can contact your own state. There's very few times they're tested, even in the states to test. Be lucky if they show up once a year to test the stuff. Guys that run the place, they pretty much know that. So now you know a little bit more about gas stations and which gas station you should avoid at all costs. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.